Hey there, beloved community. It's always a joy to reconnect with each of you right here on our channel. Picture this: a life without any hurdles, without any storms. It sounds serene, doesn't it? But as many of us have experienced firsthand, life throws its curveballs. Sometimes they're more like whirlwinds, leaving us asking, why is this happening to me? But what if there's a silver lining in the clouds? What if I told you that every tear, every trial, is a stepping stone towards a grander design, your destined success? Grounded deeply in faith, today we'll unravel this idea that maybe, just maybe, our struggles are our biggest blessings in disguise. Curious? Intrigued? Let's journey together into a realm of faith, resilience, and transformative hope. All right, friends, let's delve into our first point. Have you ever seen a piece of raw gold? It's rocky, mixed with impurities, and doesn't quite have that coveted gleam. But when subjected to fire, it undergoes a transformation. It sheds the unwanted elements, emerging radiant and pure. Similarly, our faith undergoes this refining process. The book of James, in 1-4, paints a vivid picture. Imagine facing challenges and embracing them with joy. Why? Because these very challenges, they're testing your faith, crafting it, giving it strength. It's like building a muscle. You don't realize its strength until it's tested. Sunny days? Sure, we thank God and our faith feels light and easy. But when the clouds gather, when the tempest rages, that's when we find ourselves leaning into our faith, allowing it to grow roots, become our anchor, and solidify its presence in our hearts. As we continue to unravel this notion, let's consider the trees. Ever notice the tallest and strongest trees? Their roots run deep, entwined and firmly grounded. They didn't get that way during the calm, sunny days, but rather through the stormy nights, the heavy winds, and even the harshest winters. They grew stronger because they were tested. Similarly, every hurdle we face is an opportunity for our faith to send its roots deeper into the fertile ground of trust in God. It's easy to say, I trust in Him when the path is clear, but it's in the heart of the storm that our trust transforms into an unyielding bond. Each trial is an invitation, an opportunity to embrace God even tighter, to lean into His promises, and to emerge with a faith that is not just spoken of, but lived, felt, and radiantly evident in our lives. Moreover, the community and relationships we build during these times are also a testament to our strength in faith. Ever heard of the saying, "A friend in need is a friend indeed"? In challenging times, when we gather with fellow believers to pray, share, and support, our communal faith grows leaps and bounds. It's a collective energy, reinforcing and affirming that we're not alone in this journey. And you know what's even more beautiful? The testimonies that arise from these struggles. When we emerge from these trials with renewed faith, we become living testaments of God's grace and power. Our stories inspire, offering hope to others, perhaps nudging them to find their path to Him. So, next time the winds of struggle blow, remember, it's not to break you but to make your faith unbreakable. Embrace the challenge, for in its heart lies an unmatched spiritual strength waiting to be discovered. Delving deeper, dear friends, we often hear about life's most common struggles. Each holds a lesson, a silver lining, and a divine purpose. Let's explore these 4 struggles that, though they may shake us, are setting the stage for our success. All right, dear friends, let's talk about something we've all wrestled with at some point in our lives: personal failures. They sting, don't they? That sinking feeling of not measuring up, the weight of disappointment. But here's a perspective that might shine a new light on those gloomy moments. Have you ever tried learning a new skill? Maybe riding a bicycle or learning to play an instrument? Initially, there are countless stumbles, missed notes, maybe even a couple of bruises. But it's in those repeated mistakes that learning truly happens. Similarly, personal failures aren't the universe conspiring against us. They're life's subtle nudges pushing us towards growth, maturity, and eventual success. Consider David's journey. Picture a young shepherd boy, probably feeling unnoticed and undervalued, tending his sheep. Life threw him curves, moments of rejection from his family, betrayal from close allies, and a plethora of personal failures that could have broken anyone. But did they break David? No. He rose, fortified by each setback, drawing strength from his unwavering faith, until he wore the crown as the King of Israel. In our own lives, when we stumble, it's easy to focus on the pain of the fall. But what if, instead, we focused on the lessons from that fall? Those errors, those miscalculations, they gently chisel away our imperfections. They carve us into more humble beings, nurturing resilience in our cores and leading us into a profound communion with God's grace. Each failure, then, is not a dead end, but a detour guiding us toward our divine destiny. So, the next time you face a setback, remember David. Remember that each failure is a chapter, not the entirety of your story. And, anchored in faith, you too can rise from any fall, perhaps even stronger and more aligned with God's purpose for you. Picking up where we left off, it's worth noting how failures often serve as life's most potent teachers. They provide an unmatched education, molding us into who we are destined to become. Let's consider a simple analogy: the process of baking. Sometimes the batter doesn't rise. Perhaps we overmix, or maybe the oven's temperature was slightly off. But it's through those flat cakes and burnt edges that we learn the art of baking, refining our technique with every attempt until we achieve that perfect, fluffy cake. Similarly, our personal failures offer us invaluable insights into the intricate details of our life's journey. Reflect upon your own life. Those moments of regret, the if-onlys and the what-ifs. They might have felt painful at the time, but didn't they also push you to reconsider your approach? Didn't they compel you to evolve, to adapt, to pray deeper, and to trust more profoundly in God's plan? And in that process, didn't you find aspects of yourself that you didn't know existed? See, personal failures are like mirrors. They reflect back not just our mistakes, but our potential, our strengths, and sometimes even our calling. They show us where we need growth, where we need healing, and most importantly, where we need God the most. Peter, a disciple of Jesus, is another sterling example. Remember his denial of Christ? A failure that could have been devastating. But instead, that very setback became a catalyst for his transformation, propelling him into becoming a cornerstone of the early church. In essence, personal failures, when seen through the lens of faith, aren't final. They are formative. They aren't the end, but the beginning of a deeper journey intertwined with God's loving guidance. So the next time you falter or fall, pause, breathe, reflect. Remember that this too is a part of your divine journey, a stepping stone leading you closer to your God-ordained destiny. Diving into our next point, relationships and loneliness, I want you to take a moment to reflect on the people who have crossed your life's path. Some might have brought joy, while others perhaps left scars. Human connections, as rich and rewarding as they are, can also be complex and challenging. Imagine a tapestry, each thread representing a relationship we've had or continue to have. Some threads are vibrant, uplifting our spirits. Others might be frayed, representing relationships that have weathered storms or maybe even broken off. Each thread, each connection, has its own tale, its own lesson. The beauty of interpersonal relationships is that they are our most genuine mirrors. They reflect our virtues and our vulnerabilities, When a friend betrays our trust, or when a loved one misunderstands our intentions, the pain cuts deep. It makes us question our worth, our choices, even our very nature. But isn't it during these very moments of despair that we also find our most profound strengths? It's in these times that virtues like patience, forgiveness, and understanding aren't just words but lived experiences. They become the tools through which we navigate the maze of human connections. Loneliness, on the other hand, can be a silent, shadowy companion. It can creep in even when we're surrounded by a crowd. It's that voice that whispers, "You're alone in this." But in this quiet solitude, there's also an opportunity to introspect, to reconnect with oneself, and most importantly, to forge a deeper bond with God. In the stillness, His voice becomes clearer, His guidance more evident. The psalmist in Psalm 34:18 said, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted." And truly, in moments of loneliness, we find God reaching out, filling the voids with His immense love. Furthermore, these struggles in relationships and moments of solitude allow us to truly appreciate the value of genuine, soul-nourishing connections. Like a traveler in a desert values every drop of water, we begin to treasure those relationships that uplift, support, and guide us in our journey. They become our beacons, our anchors. So, my dear friends, as you navigate the seas of relationships, remember, every interaction, every heartbreak, every moment of loneliness is shaping you, refining you. These experiences are not just about learning to connect with others, but also about deepening our connection with ourselves and with God. Cherish them, learn from them, and always hold on to the belief that God is with you, guiding you through every relationship and every solitary moment. As we delve deeper into this intricate tapestry of relationships, it's essential to recognize the life lessons embedded within every strand of connection and solitude. Have you ever noticed how trees, when faced with strong winds, often develop deeper roots? Similarly, when our relationships challenge us, we too are given an opportunity to anchor ourselves deeper in understanding, wisdom, and faith. Just as a tree uses storms to fortify its foundation, our interpersonal challenges can ground us, making our spirits resilient. Consider the biblical story of Joseph and his brothers. Sold into slavery by his own flesh and blood, wrongfully imprisoned, and faced with years of separation from his family. Joseph's interpersonal challenges were, by no measure, minor. Yet, when he was finally in a position of power, he chose forgiveness over revenge. His struggles didn't embitter him, they elevated him. They molded him into a beacon of mercy, wisdom, and integrity. Similarly, in our lives, moments of misunderstandings, betrayals, or even estrangements can serve as catalysts. They can propel us into becoming better listeners, more compassionate friends, and kinder individuals. They teach us to differentiate between fleeting emotions and the enduring love God wants us to embody. And then, there's the enigma of loneliness. In our modern age, with technology connecting us in ways unimaginable just a few decades ago, it's paradoxical how isolated many of us feel. Yet, within this solitude lies a golden opportunity. An opportunity not just for self-reflection, but for spiritual elevation. Loneliness can become a sacred space, a silent retreat where our souls converse candidly with God, where we pour out our fears, dreams, regrets, and hopes at His feet, and in return, receive His boundless grace and comfort. Remember, dear friends, relationships and the challenges they bring are divinely orchestrated. They are not meant to break us, but to shape us. Every tear shed in loneliness, every prayer whispered in the stillness, and every act of forgiveness extended is a step closer to our true selves, to God's vision for us. Let's shift our focus to a topic that, despite its profound significance, often remains whispered in hushed tones: the challenges surrounding our health and well-being. All right, everyone, let's take a moment. Close your eyes and think about the last time you truly appreciated the feeling of fresh air filling your lungs or the simple joy of a pain-free day. Health, both physical and mental, is a gift we often overlook. Today, we journey through its challenges and in the midst discover the hidden blessings. Imagine you're reading a gripping novel and you come across a chapter filled with unexpected twists and turns, moments of suspense and surprise. This chapter, though unsettling, adds depth to the story, making the climax even more exhilarating. In many ways, our lives are similar to that novel, and our health challenges are those gripping chapters. They might be filled with unexpected pains, anxieties, or sleepless nights, but they're also brimming with lessons, growth, and undying hope. When faced with a physical ailment, everything seems to come into sharp focus. The laughter of a child, the colors of a sunset, or the rhythm of a heart beating, all become miracles, moments of sheer magic. It's as if life, in its wisdom, is whispering. Do you see? Do you recognize these daily wonders? It's a call to gratitude, to cherish every breath, every step. And then, there's the maze of our mind. Mental challenges can sometimes feel like being caught in a thunderstorm without an umbrella. But have you noticed? It's during these storms that we often find the most authentic shelters: a listening ear, a comforting scripture, or even a silent prayer. Our struggles carve out spaces in our hearts for deeper connections, for more genuine relationships, not just with others, but with God Himself. Speaking of connections, remember the story of Job from the Bible? A man who faced immense health challenges, both physical and mental. Yet, his story wasn't just about suffering. It was about enduring faith, about a man who, in his darkest moments, reached out to God with raw honesty. Job's journey reminds us that it's okay to question, to seek answers, and in the process, draw closer to God's comforting embrace. So, dear friends, as we navigate the highs and lows of our health, let's not forget that these very challenges are adding depth to our story, enriching our journey. They're teaching us resilience, deepening our empathy, and constantly reminding us of the ever-present grace of God. In every pain, there's a promise. In every challenge, a chance to connect. And in every tear, a testament to our unyielding spirit. Remember, you're not just surviving these challenges. You're thriving, growing, and blossoming into the person God envisioned you to be. Let's cherish the journey with all its twists and turns, for it's shaping us one chapter at a time. All right, my friends, here we are at the fourth and final point of our discussion today, diving into the depths of financial hardships. Those bank statements that make you sigh, those bills that loom large, and that gnawing feeling of not having enough. But hang in there, because as with every story we've ventured into, this one too holds its share of hidden gems. In our modern era, with social media flashing glamorous lifestyles and endless advertisements selling us dreams, financial pressures can sometimes seem all too overwhelming. And when the going gets tough, it's easy to feel like we're sinking, to get lost in the why me. But remember this: the richest moments often don't cost a dime. Ever had an evening where you turned off the lights and just gazed at the stars? Or maybe a day indoors with family, playing board games and laughing at old memories? These moments, priceless in their essence, aren't bought. They're experienced. Financial hardships, in their unique way, strip away the layers of excess, bringing to focus what truly matters. In the contemporary hustle and bustle, with cities that never sleep and economies ever on the move, financial struggles teach us resilience, adaptability, and innovation. How many successful entrepreneurs have we heard of who started from a garage or a basement? How many stories float around of families who, when pushed against the wall, discovered untapped potentials, turned hobbies into professions, or created wonders from the very constraints they faced? Furthermore, these hardships also provide an opportunity for introspection, a moment to pause and evaluate. What is our relationship with money? Do we control it, or does it control us? They remind us of the age-old wisdom that happiness isn't found in the things we possess, but in the relationships we nurture, the experiences we gather, and the faith we hold on to. So, as we conclude this chapter on financial hardships, remember, you're not alone. Millions walk this path daily, finding hidden treasures along the way. These moments of constraint, while challenging, are also crafting stories of hope, resilience, and innovation. With every hurdle, there's a new lesson. With every penny saved, there's gratitude. And within every challenge lies an opportunity waiting to be discovered. God doesn't promise a life without storms, but He does promise to be our anchor. So, let's embrace the journey, with its highs and lows, knowing that the value of life isn't dictated by our bank accounts, but by the love we share, the faith we have, and the hope we hold on to. As we've seen through our discussions today, challenges come in many forms, but with unwavering faith, they're merely stepping stones towards our destined success. Friends, as we draw our time together to a close, I want you to take a deep breath. Feel that? That's the heartbeat of countless souls just like you, weathering storms, searching for light, and fighting battles both seen and unseen. We've taken a deep dive into life's challenges today, but what if I told you that the very essence of our struggles is the fire that refines us, that molds our spirit and fuels our rise? It's easy to get lost in the grand narrative of life, to feel overshadowed by towering challenges. But remember this: every droplet of rain, every gust of wind plays its part in sculpting the mountains and carving the valleys. Your journey, your story, is no different. Those nights you felt defeated, those moments of doubt, they weren't in vain. They were preparing you, refining you, making you the beacon of hope and strength you are destined to be. Come closer. Feel the collective energy of countless stories, of battles won and lessons learned. We're in this together, bound by a shared hope, a shared faith. And while our paths may differ, our destination is the same: a place of purpose, fulfillment, and unwavering faith. So, before we part ways today, take this with you. In the vast canvas of life, you matter. Your struggles, your triumphs, your journey is a testament to the incredible tapestry of human spirit and God's boundless grace. When doubt clouds your path, remember this moment, this shared bond. Know that you're not alone, that every step, every stumble, is setting the stage for a breakthrough. Thank you for being here, for opening your heart and embracing this shared journey. I challenge you to carry forward this flame of hope, to be the light in someone else's storm. Because together, we aren't just surviving, we are thriving, ascending, and redefining what it means to overcome. Until we meet again, stand tall, dream big, and let your spirit soar. Because your story, it's just beginning.